And welcome everybody to the show. This is Peliculas with the Bros. My name is Adrian.
My name is Ivan.
And Peliculas with the Bros is a show where me and my brother Ivan discuss a movie. Every week we discuss a new movie. Ivan, what's the movie of the week?
There's something about Mary.
There's something about Mary, correct.
Is it something about Mary or
There's something about Mary. There's something about Mary. But usually we do a newer movie, but the theaters have been running a little thin lately, so we decided to go back 25 years and do There's Something About Mary. We actually did Titanic 2 weeks ago, which is another 25-year film. But yeah, if you like that kind of thing, if you like podcast shows about movies, then you're in the right place. We're a YouTube show, Peliculas with the Bros. Look us up. Hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. Let us know what you think about the movie There's Something About Mary. Also, we're a podcast, so if you like podcasts, you know when you try to get comfortable and you like miss it? That's what I did. You're like, what?
Whoa!
If you like podcasts, go to podcast platform of your choice: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio.
Deezer.
That seemed like a really like 1995 radio thing.
Deezer.
Deezer. You're now tuned into.
Oh,
You messed that up. I know what you're going for, but you messed it up. Anyways, subscribe. Thank you. Get our views up. And also, again, let us know what you think about There's Something About Mary. Ivan, let's quickly discuss in a one-sentence review what we thought about last week's film, Bottoms.
a modern comedy classic.
Nice.
To put it lightly.
I like that take. Even though, like, I know my rating of 4 out of 5 for that movie is kind of low, it's gonna hold up well over the years. Because comedies don't hold up well as far as, like, ratings. And we'll see what this movie... Ivan, are you ready to go back 25 years to a simpler time? A time when you couldn't just, like, Google someone's name. You have to really stalk them. You have to forget Facebook. That seems kind of like intentional. You're like, stalker, oh, I forgot about that one girl.
I was just reflecting, and I was like, I don't really like how there's a reflection there.
Yeah. Forget about Facebook. You have to really hire a detective.
Yes.
So we're gonna be 2 detectives ourselves and review the movie.
There's Something About Mary.
Correct. Written by Ed Decter and John J. Strauss, as well as Peter and Bobby Farrelly. Little side note, I don't even want to mention this after this, but Ed Decter and John J. Strauss,
Cancelled?
I wish, co-writers of this movie. They're known for Boy Meets World, creating and writing that movie. And then they made Lizzie McGuire movie. They had like a weird, and then there's like 10 years. They haven't made a movie in like 25 years, basically. That's all that really matters. But this movie's directed by Peter and Bobby Farrelly. The premise of this movie: Ted, a hapless and hopeless man, is in love with the girl he was supposed to take to prom 10 years ago. He has a reason though. This girl isn't any ordinary girl. She's Mary. And everyone who meets her falls in love with her. Ted embarks on a quest to find Mary, but he has some stiff competition along the way. With the cast of Cameron Diaz as Mary Jensen, Matt Dillon as Pat Healy, Ben Stiller as Ted Stroman, Lee Evans as Tucker, Chris Elliott as Woogie, Lynn Shane, Jeffrey Tambor. You know Jeffrey Tambor, right?
Arrested Development.
Got him. Sarah Silverman is in this movie. Brett Favre, for all you cheeseheads.
Oh.
I like where you're going with that. The directors of this movie are the incomparable Farrelly Brothers.
Yes.
Before I forget, they were doing the thing where 2 brothers or 2 people direct the movie before. Well, there's the Coen brothers, but you know, it's like we talk about movies lately that have multiple directors, which feels uncommon. But these guys were doing it back in the day. It was pretty cool. They're known for slapstick and toilet humor. Shout out to Wikipedia for that toilet humor verbiage. Rhode Island is the main location of a lot of their movies. I'm assuming they're from Rhode Island. And they have some of the biggest 90s to early 2000s
Hit me.
comedies.
Hit me. Hit me.
Just a little movie called Dumb and Dumber. I don't know if you ever heard of that movie or not.
Have I ever?
Have you ever? Obviously, this movie, which was a massive success. Me, Myself, and Irene.
I think I accidentally watched like all their movies this year.
Yeah, you watched Me, Myself, and Irene recently. I remember you telling me that. What else have you watched from them?
Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, was it the first time?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Just like recently I've watched.
gotcha. They also made Shallow Hal.
Huh?
Shallow Hal? Have you ever seen that? It was on TV a lot back when I was growing up. You were growing up too, but you were watching the same thing. They made Osmosis Jones. Do you remember that movie?
Yeah. I think I've seen all their movies so far.
I mean, I'm not saying Osmosis Jones, I shouldn't lump that in with like all the other movies, but just funny movies that they made. The Three Stooges, which was a massive bomb.
Yeah.
They made Dumb and Dumber 2, which was a massive bomb. And now they kind of broken up. They're making their own movies. Peter Farrelly has made Green Book, which won the Academy Award, which is
Really?
crazy. Yeah.
How's him?
Yeah, it's one of those movies that people are like, really? They're gonna give that movie?
Yeah.
He also made a movie that came out on Hulu recently, The Greatest Beer Run Ever. Sorry, I forgot that name. And then I don't know if you saw I think it's on Amazon Prime, Champions. Not that you saw it, but yeah, Woody Harrelson coaching special needs kids, which is something they seem to like really do a lot. They have special needs kids, people in their movies a lot.
Yeah.
And one of their quotes was like, "They're real human beings. They should be portrayed more often."
Uh-huh.
But it's kind of like this movie would obviously be a no-no because I don't think the guy that was the guy that had special needs in this movie that had a big role. I don't think he was a real special needs person, and I think that would have gone bad.
Yes.
In this age.
He played it well though.
Played it well, and it's kind of it's not like it was portrayed badly in this movie too.
Yeah, I like my reaction because I didn't know they were gonna do that.
Yeah.
So I thought like, was this like is he a joke?
Right.
Because I didn't know like the whole thing was that he was like loved and everyone loved him and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it just felt like maybe it's just my own bias from my own racism.
Yes. Which you have lots of.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Oodles and noodles of it.
Noodles and noodles.
But yeah, I just thought it was a joke at first, so it was weird.
But he was a good guy.
Yeah.
After all. And they're one. I don't know any other directors off the top of my head, and maybe there is a few that would do such a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if you think about Me, Myself, and Irene, schizophrenia is like an illness, and they portray it in that movie, even though it's portrayed by someone who doesn't have it, or who knows if he has it. But it's kind of artistic in a way, right?
Sure.
Would you give him a credit for that? A point? A
Um,
Frosio Plumber point?
I give him half.
Half a point?
Because I don't know the history, but this is like,
Say it. Just say it.
should they be the ones making these stories?
Gotcha. Well, yeah. I think if they must have someone in their family like that, so that's like why they're very attached to the idea.
Right.
Do you have to have special needs to do a special needs movie?
No, I don't mean it like that. But like, if that's why, like, I don't know their history. If they had family, then sure. But if they're like, I see this, nobody's really talking about this, and then they just like special needs. Let's put them in because nobody else really does that. That's different.
I think, like, the only reason they shouldn't do it is if they use them as like a gag, right?
Yeah.
Which they kind of do. Like, it is a way to set up jokes, but it's not a joke
On him.
to laugh at them, right?
Yeah.
Which is, I think, a point towards them. And even if, like, for example, I, who have no really special needs people around me, and I decide to direct a movie. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Ivan. I should be able to do it as long as
respectful.
respectful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that goes for anything too, right? If I'm not gay, if I'm not black, if I'm not a woman, I can do those kind of stories as long as I'm respectful.
I think, but also like, if you haven't really lived the life, you can never truly show what it's like, even no matter how respectful you are.
What if I do my research, talk to all the people that I need to talk to, get a lot of details, stuff like that? Just
Tough.
playing devil
It's
advocate.
it's a gray line. Cause still, I would say like, oh, I want to make the best slavery movie of all time.
Because it's Tarantino.
True.
This is like the thing with him that like he uses the N word so often in his movies and a lot of portrayal of what it's like to be a black person, but he's
But
not
like
black.
his slavery movie wasn't really about like slavery. It's more like the slavery backdrop with this tale of someone trying to rescue his wife.
Yes, but there was portrayal of slavery.
Yeah, but I'm saying like if I wanted to, like if I did 13 Years a Slave, like that type of slavery movie.
I actually never watched it.
Oh, well, it's like very,
Gritty.
yeah, where it's like slavery is the not just the backdrop, it's the
But what
front drop.
what if it's like I'm thinking of the scene when they have two of the slaves fight to live in Django,
Yeah.
and that can be seen as like using slavery as a form of entertainment, even though it's showing it maybe not to like say like, oh, isn't this cool? It's really showing it to be like brutal and disgusting, but it's still interesting to watch. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. No, I get that.
It's just like a thin line between like, are you trying to make like an honest story? Or you want to do you want to look like the hero and make the Green Mile? You know?
Yes.
I haven't seen Green Mile, but that's the
gist that you feel.
Yes.
Okay, Evan. How the sausage was made? There's something about Mary. How the movie was made. I don't have too many details, but I do have some good casting. What ifs? Courtney Cox as Mary. Courtney Cox is the girl from Friends with black hair. She was gonna do it, but she said no because it conflicted with Friends. Owen Wilson and Jon Stewart were considered for Ted.
I'd rather character. Owen Wilson. I think Owen Wilson would have been better. Who's the other one?
Jon Stewart.
The
Daily Show. You're saying Owen Wilson better than Ben Stiller?
I didn't really like Ben in this movie.
Yeah, we'll talk about that, but it's possible that he could have been better. Yes. Bill Murray or Cuban Gooding Jr. as Pat Healy.
As who?
The detective scumbag.
Bill Murray or Cuba Gooding Jr.
It's like such a opposite.
I think Bill Murray. Well, I mean,
Bill Murray's like built for that.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, that would have been good.
But this guy's good too.
Yeah.
Who did I say? Matt Dillon. Yeah. And lastly, as Warren, Mary's brother, special needs brother, Chris Farley. But
he would have played it up too much, I think.
Yeah, and by that time they didn't want to go with him because he was already like too deep into drugs. Crazy. But enough of that, Ivan. This is 25 years of a film that it's been out 25 years. It's considered a comedy classic. It's honestly, let's see, it's on the America's Films Institute 100 Years, 100 Laughs, America's Funniest Movies.
What number?
A list of 100 movies of the 20th century in 2000. 27th. So that's how funny it was when it was released.
That's how funny this scientifically is.
Ivan, what'd you think of There's Something About Mary?
It's good.
Nice. It is good. It is good, but it's dated. You're like, you have that smirk face demeanor that's like, say everything that you know is true, Adrian. Like, you know what I'm going to say. Say it all for me.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, and yes.
Yes.
I do think that it was like, there's points that I laughed out loud.
There's points that I'm like, this is like a little too much.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it has great gags and it has like set piece comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Like we think about set pieces in like action movies, right? And like, oh, here comes a train that's about to fall from the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys, Farrelly Brothers, they have kind of a knack to have like a set piece comedy where there's this big event and a bunch of comedy ensues after this slapstick little thing that happens.
Right.
Which I kind of liked. What'd you think? What was like your 2-sentence, 3-sentence thesis on this movie?
It felt pretty like I get its appeal, but today it felt like a little uncomfortable, the movie.
Really?
Not like just like points like because it wouldn't be made today, not this way.
But that seems kind of hypocritical of you saying that the other week that you're like they should make movies that go for it. And then these guys are going for it and you're like, well, it's a little too much for me.
It's not that it's too much. It's just I feel like it's like not the best taste at times. And not like poop joke, bad taste, just like not the best execution, bad taste.
Mm-hmm. Are you talking like? Give me an example. Is it their use of special needs kids? Is it the
It's a little of that. It's a little of that.
Because let's go over some of the set pieces, and then you tell me what you think.
Okay.
Because these set pieces to me are, I put about 5 of them, and I think they're all funny. The very first one is basically meeting the parents when the Ted character meets Mary's parents. And what happens is he gets in a fight with his special needs brother, basically. He gets his junk stuck in his pants, which is like an iconic scene.
Yeah. And
the whole neighborhood comes into the bathroom. And it kind of goes back to last week what I said about bottoms, where like they go for like did we say ludicrous? No.
Absurd.
They go for the absurd of like, this will never happen.
Yeah.
But they kind of lean into that and they're able to do funnier things because of that. And there's a line delivery when the police looks at the junk in the pants and he's like, what the hell were you thinking? Just like the fact that he's like, you think he was actually considering like, let's see.
What will happen? That didn't feel right.
And his like sheer like disgust and like how stupid can you be type of reaction was just amazing. So that's one set piece. The other set piece I thought was good was when Pat Healy, the detective character, was pulling the con, and he was explaining how he's an architect, and Mary was like falling for everything he was saying. And then the one specific thing that I laughed out loud, which maybe you're going to say is like, it hits your funny bone too much, is when he's like, yeah, my real passion is working with retards.
Oh, that was funny.
And then she's like, that's kind of politically incorrect. He's like, I don't care what other people think. I'm going to work with the people I want to. Oh, that's so. And then my favorite part was when he's like, he's describing a guy. He's like, we got this guy. He's got a forehead like a drive-in movie theater, but he's a good shit. Just like the line delivery was spot on. And then that goes into the dog scene when he's like killing the dog. You can watch the movie if you really are interested. And then another funny part in that whole set piece was they go to an architecture summit, and he's talking to another architect who's actually a con man too. And he's like, oh, so did you build the Stadio Olimpico? And he said, no, just down the street. The clientela canta. It's just like so stupid the way he says it. But it works. So far, what do you think? Like,
I like that. Well, I mean, the dog, I didn't like the dog stuff.
That's fair.
That was a little too much. Like,
yeah. That's like very...
It steps into cruelty, which I was like, I don't know.
Ivan!
Not like, I know it's not real, but like, I feel like you don't have to be cruel to be funny.
Well, you obviously don't have to be cruel.
You shouldn't be cruel if you want to be, if you... I would rather not be funny than be cruel and funny.
I actually disagree because like I get your point of no, I kind of agree with your point of don't be cruel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can accept that, even though it's a fake dog.
All right, don't say like that.
Okay, but I'd rather be cruel and funny than not funny at all, because like I think that's what buries a lot of comedies when there's like no comedy and there's more story.
But I don't mean like don't be mean. Like you could be mean and funny.
Yes,
I'm saying like be funny and mean in good spirits, like with good health.
but what does that mean? Like, what could he do different? Like, how would you set up that dog scene?
I don't think there was a way to do that with the dog scene. Some I don't know, just
like don't beat up on a dog, don't kill a dog.
Yeah.
Don't give dogs
I
drugs.
was in this is I don't know if you remember, but in the Mario movie when there's
Okay.
like the dog in the
Yes.
bathroom.
Yep.
That one, like I kind of felt like, oh, what are they gonna do to this dog? But the whole time the dog was like getting them. Like the
Right.
dog never ever took any damage. And there's no cruelty towards the dog. But it was still funny. And
Yes.
I think that's like what I'm looking for. That not where the dog's the victim of this the whole time. Instead,
Would you consider this a nitpick, or is it like a major?
I don't think it destroys anything.
Okay,
I'm just saying like
do better.
if you're wanting to craft the perfect joke.
Okay, so that's your one thing with the Healy pulling the con nitpick or rebuttal. What about meeting the parents? Was that part funny? The junk scene, the brother getting beating up him, the whole neighborhood coming to the bathroom. Did you like that? Did you laugh at all?
Yeah, that was funny.
Okay. What about the hitchhiker set piece when there's a hitchhiker who's played by what's his name?
Oh,
I just know him from Rocket Man, one of my favorite movies of all time. Do you remember that?
I
movie?
never watched Rocket Man.
Not the new one, an old one. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, in that hitchhiker scene, they get Ted gets busted in a gay sex raid, and then I love the what he's like bragging about. Yeah, the interrogation.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
bragging about being a serial killer, but
Yeah.
unintentionally because he's not a serial killer. Did you think that part was good?
I like the interrogation scene, but it felt like too much of a like let's just do this so he isn't there in time sort of thing. Like how do we make him not get there within an hour instead 2 days?
Okay.
It felt like that too much.
Okay.
Like artificial, like time
Yes.
lengthening.
Yes. Interesting. I'm listening to your critiques, and I'm trying to think about like what you liked about Bottoms at the same time, and like maybe things that Bottoms has that are similar to this movie to try to expose the fallacies in your argument. I can't do it obviously because I'm just restating what I'm saying out loud, but it's interesting these takes that you got because I would say more so than wait, what's your main gripe? What was it? The very initial, like it's
Cruelty?
No. The very initial, like it's okay, but
Uncomfortable.
Yeah, it made you feel uncomfortable while watching it, laughing at the humor if you wanted to laugh.
Not like it was just the vibe. It felt uncomfortable. Not that
like edgy,
not
edgelord.
No, not that way. Just uncomfortable.
Interesting.
Not in a way where I'm like, because there's uncomfortable moments in Bottoms, but it wasn't. I didn't feel uncomfortable in that movie. That was more like, ooh, what a gut punch.
Yes.
It didn't. I don't know the right word, but there's a more precise word that I don't have.
Yeah, I think I can. Now that you're saying it, I kind of can feel that same feeling now, like kind of like an aura,
Vibes.
a vibe coming around me right now, and it's like, I think it's the fact that it's kind of maniacal almost. Like it's the vibe of the movie is definitely like not based in fact.
Yeah.
And it makes it kind of
grimy, like
yeah, like sour.
yeah, like Bottoms the whole time, ton of uncomfortable moments, but it felt like in good spirits. Like they were having fun. It was made with love. Like I didn't really feel that with this movie. Like I felt like there was a little, like almost resentment in the air. Like I'm just general vibes, not like
yes.
this character made the whole movie resentful.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's like a director's style. Like if you watch David Fincher, it kind of feels a little clinical, but he's not like doing any doctor stuff, you know?
Yeah. I think another word too is like crude.
I mean, Bottom was crude too.
But this feels crude in like it feels cruder than that because it's
Distasteful.
older. Yeah. I don't know. I know where you're going though. Now I can kind of see it now that we talked it out.
See the vibes?
I could see the vibes in there.
See the vibes?
And then the gel scene, which was like probably the most iconic scene in the movie.
Family Guy.
Yeah?
Yeah, that was in Family Guy.
I honestly didn't like think it was that funny.
No. It was just so like, what?
Yeah.
Like what? That's a random joke to just put in there.
But it worked. Especially in that time. I think it worked because no one's seen anything like that.
Yeah, I think it was more like the shock factor.
Yeah.
Like they're like, they did that?
Right. And let's just talk about some of the characters too. Specifically Cameron Diaz. I think she's perfection in this role.
Oh, okay.
Not only is she supposed to be this perfect girl, right? But she is literally like perfect as this girl who is undescribable, kind of perfect. Like she's a perfect human being.
Right.
And she's beautiful. And she has, which I think is more of a Cameron Diaz than like playing in the role, but like this charisma.
Yeah.
Which I haven't seen. Maybe like Jennifer Lawrence has the same kind of charisma.
Maybe.
But dude, she's super good in this. I think she's actually probably the best role in this movie.
Like perfectly melted into the movie.
Yes.
Whereas like get Ben Stiller out of there. Give me Owen Wilson.
Okay, we'll talk about that. Lastly, with Cameron Diaz, at this time, she was like reaching supernova. So before this, she was, I think her biggest movie was The Mask. But then after this, she makes Charlie's Angels and then Shrek. I think like within 2 years.
Yeah.
Those two movies, and I think that's when she hits supernova.
Yeah.
And now she's like on an acting hiatus, which is kind of cool.
I mean, she probably made all her money ever in that
Shrek.
whatever time span.
Shrek 2, Shrek Forever
3.
After.
There's 3 and then 4.
Maybe we need to do like a Shrek miniseries.
I watched Shrek 2 recently. No. Yeah, I did. No. I watched Shrek 3. It's good.
Justin Timberlake one? Great. I kind of remember like as a kid, like I really want to watch it because of Justin Timberlake.
Your priorities.
Oh,
Jesus.
Man. Okay, Ben Stiller. Let's talk about this guy. First, let's talk about like the acting roles he did, just so like I can properly give my take on him. Because like before this, I actually don't really know and doesn't really matter. But like I think his best roles have been roles where he's like such a freaking weirdo. Dodgeball.
Right.
Fat Camp movie. I forgot what something camp where like you should overweights, something like that. It's a Disney movie where he's basically like the dodgeball character, camp counselor, but he's just like a drill sergeant with these fat kids. He's like, you gotta do it right, and he used to be fat. Yeah. Anyways, you should watch it. Tropic Thunder, Zoolander. Those roles are just like craziness. He's playing a character and he does it so well, I think.
Yes.
Also, another movie he's really good in, and it's kind of similar to this movie, is Meet the Parents, where you're just this like impish
Yeah.
almost feminine, like pushover.
Yep.
And I think he's really good at Meet the Parents. But in this movie, I agree with you. He does not work at all. But my take is that I think it's because he's not written correctly. Like he's just made to look like this like loser over and over again. Like
Yeah. I
he
thought like
loses all the time.
after high school, he should have just been a normal guy. Like he should have been like completely the straight guy. Like no weirdness about him, but he kept being weird and weird. I was like, I don't
But
know.
what do
Like,
you mean weird?
like he kept taking like the bathroom scene. That was weird. Like for him to take advice from what was he? He's naive, but like overly
Yes.
naive.
Yeah, there's that one scene where he's like, "Okay, I got to go. I had to help my boss's son move out."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, who is he?" He's like, "I don't know. I never met him." Implying that he's just like
A
bitch.
lackey.
Yeah. But yeah, he's kind of not realistic character.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like you could say, yeah, he's not realistic. He's absurd. But there should be more character development there. He's not given enough, I think.
Yeah.
And I feel like anybody with that kind of script, unless you're Jim Carrey, you can't really do anything. Like I think Jim, you have to be a supernova to pull something from that script.
Right.
And your take of Owen, like I feel the same way about Owen Wilson. Like
I think he would have been able to play the sincere part a lot better.
oh yeah,
Because like when Ben Stiller was sincere, I was like, I don't trust this guy.
true.
And at the end, they ended up together. I'm like, she did that.
Yeah, because they kind of show that he's pretty much as bad as all of the rest.
Yeah,
of them.
like there's never he
'Cause
never
he lied.
yeah, and he walked away like crying, like looking back, teary eyed. Maybe she'll look, which shows like he's not actually over her
Right.
the way he said he was. It's already a lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, I think I kind of excuse that if I have to, as like, because it got pretty absurd by the end.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, what's
Yeah, it's just getting crazier and crazier.
yeah. So I kind of think at that point, maybe it's just so absurd it doesn't even matter how sincere he was. But it still didn't feel right. Like I think like an ugly Owen Wilson at the start, adult. Now he's just normal. Thinks about Mary, and then all these shenanigans go on around him while he's just like, look, I'm just a normal guy, and he is a normal guy. And at the end, he does a speech like, look, do whatever you want. He walks away, and then they end up together. That would have been better. But I don't know if they really wanted that Ben Stiller weirdness, absurdity ending. But I think it would have been a more neatly wrapped up movie if it was Owen Wilson being just a real nice, good person.
Yeah. But what I think you're giving Ben the short end of a stick, because like, what if they just said, Ben, you be a nice person, or not? I shouldn't say that. What if they gave Owen this same exact script, the same exact weirdness, like they told him to be like this kind of naive character? Would Owen be better? Shouldn't be, right?
I still would have liked him better.
Okay.
Even if he played it the same way. I think Owen Wilson.
You're
And
basically a Owen Wilson head.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm a Stiller Knight.
Stillerette.
Stillerette. I like it. Pat Healy, Matt Dillon. I think he's really good in this.
Yeah.
Just like the ultimate scumbag. And I like it too on like the opposite side on Stiller's performance. He's specific, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like he kind of reminds me of Me, Myself, and Irene, the bad version that Jim plays. What's his name? But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He has like that kind of douchiness to him.
Yeah.
And I like him in this movie. Woogie, I don't like him.
Who?
Woogie, the best friend of Stiller and who tries to get the girl.
That's exactly when I was like, oh, this is just an absurd movie. Like, this is what it is. When that reveal happened.
Yeah.
I was like, all right.
Did you see that coming?
No, but in retrospect, I should have.
Okay. I think my thing with him is like, unlike Healy, he doesn't really have a character. Like he seems like a womanizer. He's supposed to be like this womanizer. He has a great life. He has a wife that he uses over and over again for everything, and
Yeah.
but it doesn't show why he's like this cool guy that the movie's trying to portray him as.
Right.
But for some reason he is, and it never really comes across. I don't know. And I definitely don't like Tucker. He's the other con man.
That was the, I think when it was slightly bad taste, uncomfortable with the reveal that he wasn't paraplegic.
Yeah.
Like it was, it kind of didn't even add anything to the story. The fact that he was paraplegic, or not paraplegic. He could, well, I don't know what his thing is, but
some kind of crippled.
Yeah.
Handicap.
Yeah. Like.
Did it? I think it added to like
the what? The reveal. But I don't think it needed that. It didn't need that. The fact that he was English, I think that was enough for him to be like,
yes,
like I'll drop the accent here. I'm an American guy.
Yeah.
I'm a pizza delivery boy. That I think that's enough. I didn't need the, well,
I can't.
Yeah, especially with they had like a 2-minute scene of him trying to pick up keys.
Yeah, that wasn't funny.
No, especially in like retrospect, the fact that he didn't need it. It feels like they're kind of making fun of people who do that, who actually have that.
That's a good point. You have a very critical eye, but it's a good eye. It's. I'm not saying it's overly critical, and I'm not even saying it's good too, because like it's kind of like what's it called?
Eye of the nitpicker.
I'd rather be so stupid. I can't even remember it anymore. Just the dumber you are, easier your life is. What's that called?
Oh. I don't know. Ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss. God damn it. I made like the whole phrase. Ignorance is bliss, right? Like if you have ignorance, if you just suspend your disbelief and watch this film, like you can have a better time than.
I mean, I think I just really like comedies, and I feel like I can. I want it to be. I would want it to be the perfect comedy.
Obviously, yeah.
I'm more critical with that, but also like I'm still gonna give it
a favorable beating.
no, a favorable score, because I don't think comedy's like the easiest thing ever, and you won't know it until like it's out there and people are not laughing. Like, oh, that wasn't funny. So I'm more like,
I'd be so scared if I was a comedy director. I go to watch one of my movies and no one's laughing at a scene.
This is where you laugh. Dang it. I'm more like just it's nitpicking, but I'm not like all these equal -5. It's like all these equal -0.25.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I get that. Little things. The old lady in this movie, she creeped me out as a kid.
That was another thing. Like, what the heck is this? Like, that's like what the heck?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a very specific character.
Yeah.
And you can do a lot with it, like it adds a lot of like flavor to the movie, and comedy scenes. But I just speaking as a kid, like seeing like her face just creeped me out, like how dark she was. But I get it's supposed to be like this stereotype of like a Miami woman who's like all into tanning.
It felt like another, like, well, let's throw another character to add in more funny. Like, well, does she live alone? Oh, like she could have a roommate. How can we make this as funny as possible?
But that works as a story device. Like, you just need to execute it correctly.
But like, you could take her out and really nothing would happen. Like her friends were important when they were having that conversation of like, is he a good guy or not? Like you can keep the friends, because they serve something. But that lady, she was just like a gag.
That's fair. No, I see that. Yeah. I would, yeah. And to be fair, like there wasn't many scenes. I'm saying that you can use her as a funny part of the movie, but there's not that many scenes I thought she was funny in. Sarah Silverman is in this movie.
Take her out. No, just kidding.
Not really doing anything, but just
there.
It's interesting to see her 25 years ago, and she's still doing the damn thing. the finale, I think that's when the movie really dropped the ball. Like, I think it could have ended it funnier, and just having Brett Favre there.
That was scary at that one. It was just the stalker in there with her.
Oh yeah,
It's like, this is kind of scary, like really scary.
Yeah.
Not like
like I'm frightened, Adrian. I'm frightened right now.
I was scared, but just like
The concept.
yeah, like a little overly scary for a comedy movie.
You stop being a wimp.
I'm a little baby.
No, I could see that, but I like how they flipped it on us, and like she was like, "No, stop," and he was like going after the shoes.
Yeah.
That's a good flip. Ivan, this movie came out in 1998. What were you doing in 1998?
Wah.
That's right. You were crying like a baby. I on the other hand was probably watching A Bug's Life. Just
Stupid kid.
careless little child. But in retrospect, should I have watched this movie at that time? No. No. Good choice of parents. But what I'm asking here is 25 years later, Ivan, does this movie hold up? Is this a good movie?
I think it's a good time capsule.
Yeah. Things were a lot different back then, huh? Like it technically it looks the same.
I want to find out like all the comedies that are just straight up timeless. Like this 100 years, 200 years, this holds up. Like I want to see which ones. Like I want to look back 50 years is like Blazing Saddles. Is that just one of them that's timeless? Is like what else? Because like comedy's like the one genre that's just dies every 10 years from time. But like Godfather is not dying.
Yeah.
What is it?
Because humor is like tied to culture more than anything.
But I mean, then what's a comedy without culture?
Sad story. What's a comedy without culture? No, there I don't think there is. I mean, I think that's probably why A History of the World was a movie. History of the World.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that could work. Because like you're touching on historical figures, and maybe since they're so historical and like everyone knows the stories, you can find a way.
Yeah.
But even that movie, there's a bunch of flaws.
Yeah.
Can I just read this?
Yeah.
Roger Ebert 3 out of 4 stars review.
Wow.
Just actually, it's one sentence. He probably gave a bigger review than this. What a blessed relief is laughter. It flies in the face of manners, values, political correctness, and decorum. It exposes us for what we are, the only animal with a sense of humor. 3 out of 4.
Okay.
That's pretty high for this movie, for the good old Ebernator. I would think he would give this movie now a 2 out of 4.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he doesn't do regrades.
Probably not.
Maybe in heaven he does. Ivan, out of 5...
Marys. Out of 5 stalkers.
Out of 5 stalkers, how many stalkers is this film?
Give it 3.75 stalkers.
Me too, Ivan. 3.75 is the rating I gave it as well.
Wow.
Ivan, no good movie coming out next week. So I propose to you this. This movie was, I think, the 4th or 5th highest grossing movie of 1998. What's the next highest grossing film after this?
Titanic.
Like, what's number 6?
Yeah.
The Waterboy. Ivan, do we, the Afrasios, do The Waterboy? Or House Moving Castle is coming out in theaters.
I just saw that.
Really? Why?
At home.
Oh.
For
It's going to be on theaters for like a couple days. But I don't know if you can watch it because it's random days.
Maybe. I'll look and see if I can, then yes, that. I'd rather do that.
Okay, we'll see. Ivan, it's time for a section called
Things and Such.
What you been watching?
I watched 3 more episodes of Andor. So I'm hooked.
Wait.
Oh.
3 more? I didn't even know you started.
I told you I watched one episode.
Oh, I thought you said you're gonna start on one.
No, I watched one episode.
So you finished the fourth one?
Yes.
What did you just witness with those beautiful brown eyes?
God itself in a show. He escaped the planet and is talking about the heist that they're
He
gonna,
escaped which planet?
the first one he was on. When he left, because he went to look for his sister at this planet and then he killed the two guys. He ran back home.
Yes, that's like the very first scene.
Yeah, and then he was there for like 2 episodes trying to figure out how to get out of the planet.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Then he meets that one Skarsgård actor. They talk about the rebellion, and then they go off on the ship. Well, they do that big escape.
Yep.
Go off, and then they go to that green planet to start the heist with that crew that all hates him.
Ah, okay. Damn, I kind of forget now. But yeah, I remember that part. What do you think so far?
It's good.
How good?
It's not.
How good, Ivan? Just
No.
do this right now. So far, out of 10, out of 5,
Like 8.5.
out of 10. I mean, out of 5. Sorry,
Out of 5.
it's a 4. 4.25.
4.
4.
4.
Okay, it's gonna be a 4.5.
Does it get crazier?
There's one part where it's like
Hubba hubba huh.
just like
How far into it?
I forget when that happens.
I have a theory that this was not so popular because it is kind of like super against our current regime of capitalism. Because like I saw a lot of like similarities between the people in power in this
Took you 5 years to
in
watch
this
it,
world.
but now you're
So
stuck.
that's like a little what do you call that? Conspiracy theory. I'm half believing that the reason it didn't get big is because it could incite something, a rebellion.
Yeah, that's a good take. I think it's more so Star Wars nerds are dumb and they only want to know more about
Where's
lore.
Luke? Where's Luke Skywalker?
I want to know the lore. I want to know the planet where oh sorry guys, that's kind of messed up. I shouldn't be.
I want to know the planet.
I like what do you think about who's your favorite character so far?
Probably the Skarsgård guy.
Come on, there we go.
He's cool.
Have you seen what has he done? Like, what was the latest thing he's done?
He made a deal with. He like put on his wig. He put on his clothes. Then he went to the planet. And he's like, "How you guys doing?"
Don't you love that?
Yeah.
Where did like the complete flip?
Yeah, that was good.
Oh man, just wait. There's a monologue that he gives. It made me pee.
A lot or a little bit?
I drenched myself.
Oh my God! Again.
Yep.
Jesus.
There's a monologue that he gives, and then there's like this big set piece. It makes me want to see the quickly see the like what happens where. Let me actually do that because the set piece that I'm talking about, like, it's a real like. It took like 2 episodes to set up,
Okay.
and it's just.
Is it the festival?
So no, you're gonna be on the 5th.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Oh no, you have a while.
Oh man.
You have a while to get there, but once you get there, Ivan, good luck. Hold your pee. Hold your pee.
I'll pee myself beforehand. Don't worry.
Oh, trust me, your body will find some extra pee just for that too.
They're like my brain. Get the pee out of here! No.
Yeah. So yeah. Good luck. Have fun.
I don't know.
Enjoy that. Enjoy.
Just
And that's what I
sounds-
like. The first couple episodes were like, yeah, this is good.
Uh-huh.
But like when it's near the end, you're like, oh man, so good.
After this is the last TV show I'll ever watch in my life.
Oh yeah, there's nothing coming out. Oh, good segue. Unless you have something else to say about things you watched.
No.
Winning Time season 2
Canceled.
canceled.
He did it. I'm not surprised. I'm not watching it, so that means nobody else is.
Ego. It's a killer. No, I am not surprised either. Well, I haven't watched season 2 at all. But season 1, like I said, it never captured me. And that's saying a lot for a Laker basketball fanatic. Like, what the freak were you guys doing that you couldn't make a good TV show?
I mean, I'm kind of like on the opposite, even though I still didn't watch season 2.
Uh-huh.
Like, I watched and I was like, oh, I kind of get basketball now. Like, I think I'll watch season 2 eventually once it's all out. And I'm like, well, but I don't know. I'm kind of done with TV. I've been watching Adventure Time. Like, I've seen it before, but it's such a like warm cup of hot cocoa. I watch it to sleep. I'm out in like half the episode.
Like, oh, you sweet, sweet mistress.
Yes, so good.
That's fair. Interesting.
I liked it, the show, but I'm not surprised it's canceled. I think it's because it wasn't really like Showtime. Like, when I think of Showtime, I'm like flashing, extravagant, maximalism, fireworks. And there's points where it was like that, but it was a pretty depressing show overall.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think my biggest gripe was like their focus on Magic and his girlfriend. And maybe that's more so the writing, because like it didn't grip me. Especially if you're focusing so much on that, like it should be really engaging, and it wasn't to me. And like there's so much like nuance in basketball that I would love to like see their take on. Like maybe like do an interesting like the way God, I have so much things in my brain.
Jerry Buss.
No, yeah, great. Jerry Buss. No, what's the 3-hour movie with I hate this. I hate my
Give
life.
me something.
I'm gonna give it to you, but I hate how I'm gonna describe it to you.
Okay.
Okay, this is better. What's the 3-hour movie with Brad Pitt that we watched?
Benjamin Button.
No, recently. The one that came out.
Babylon.
Babylon. Okay, thank you. The way Chazelle, there you go.
Yes.
The way Chazelle does that set piece where he's showing what it is to be an actor.
Oh, it's like the cut, cry.
Yes.
You wanted that with basketball?
Yes.
Okay.
Please. Instead, we get like this like soap opera, and the soap opera's not even that good.
Okay.
Thank you for helping me guide myself. Some random news that I think is interesting: Drew Barrymore and Bill Maher, they stopped their talk show restart because of pressure from WGA or
What did you just say?
the union. Sorry, the union.
Jesus, whose side are you on? Because I'm on neither side.
The rebellion.
Go ahead.
It was like kind of obvious that kind of thing would happen, and then she came out with the video like crying, like I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have done it.
But what's the? Because aren't our podcasts not counting?
They can do podcasts because it's improv.
Oh,
It's not written.
okay, that's kind of crazy.
It's anything that's written, you shouldn't do.
So just no pen, no paper.
Yep.
You're good.
Like don't ever write.
So then she should have done that, or she just
podcast.
no, just I don't know. I guess she isn't capable of improv. Like maybe she just doesn't have that in her.
I think
wheelhouse.
she's capable, but the idea is like you can't make that kind of show without scripting something.
Conan did it.
A script?
There's the writers. They had a writer strike a while back, and
But
Conan.
like at this time, he would have been seen as like a traitor.
Oh, like it was different back then.
Yeah, I think it's different because this time it's like they feel like they're really fighting for something, which I don't really know enough. So
Whatever. I don't really care about the feelings of rich people like that. You know, like you have your millions of dollars. Just do nothing. Go on a hike for the next couple months. Give some money to the strike or the bad guys. Just pick a side. Like you don't like your anything isn't important enough to go against either side. Like just take a break. Like it's not that big a deal.
that it's on that point. I thought of something today while I was setting up for the podcast, and I was thinking like how hard it is, how much time it takes to raise a child.
Okay.
Because I have a child.
Yes.
Spoiler alert.
What the?
That's canon. Is that what? What's that meme?
That's a canon event.
That's a canon event.
um.
And I was like, it's so freaking hard. And then that segued into like, how do rich people do it? Like, they can't actually do it. Like, they're not spending any time with their kid.
Oh.
And then I was like, I'd rather not be rich because like my kid's not gonna even know me. My kid's not even gonna respond to my name. I'm like, and then this is how fucked up my brain is. Kim Kardashian sucks.
The heck? It just went there.
Yeah,
Kim Kardashian sucks.
Well, it actually went to like Kanye's probably not a good dad, and then it went like to Kim Kardashian. You have enough money. You suck as a parent. But that's how.
I mean, if I was that rich, I would just, and I had a kid, I would spend like all my money making sure, like,
wait, let me just interrupt you. You were doing the Pokemon Ash thing where that. What is that like a Japanese thing?
Probably.
Like it's like I never got that as a kid. I'm like, okay, I get
it.
Okay, keep going.
If I was that rich and I wanted to work, I would spend my money like hiring people to like do my laundry, do the cooking, do this, do that. So I would have all my time to do like 8 hours of work if that's what I really wanted to do.
Yep.
And then like 8 hours with the kids.
Yep.
And then 8 hours sleep. But I think, I don't know, like I don't understand how these rich people are not spending time with the kids if like they have the money to absolutely do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And if they want to work, like work, but.
And then it also made me think about the excuses like, well, I just want my kid to have like the best in the world. Mm-hmm. Like they
already do.
With $1 million, they already do.
Yeah.
With even like with what I have, they already do.
Yeah. They need you.
They need you. They need you. They need you, Kim.
Not some bag of cash, not some makeup. Man.
I was gonna say something else. They need you.
Kim Kardashian.
No. Enough of Kim. She's a good girl.
You say so.
She's a good shit.
She's good shit.
PS5 Pro and Switch 2. Thoughts?
That's real? I knew Switch 2, but Pro?
Faster. Better.
I don't know. It's kind of... For Switch, it makes sense.
Well, yeah, because it's like the next. This is actually the next generation of Switch.
Like, it just needs a lot... It just needs power.
But they always do this. They go, yeah, we'll go more powerful, but not like the most powerful. We'll go like 2 steps below. Yeah. And then it's already dated. It's like it's not even close to.
Yeah, I mean, they don't need a lot, but they just need like enough to. Like just one more, I think they'll be fine. Like one more big boost.
Yeah, it'll have that.
And plateau there, because like graphics are already good enough. Now it's just like art direction and lighting. That's all that matters.
I saw like a video of like Mortal Kombat 1 on PS5 compared to Switch. It's just like, dude, let's delete that video real quick.
That's when it's like, it's embarrassing.
Yeah. I don't have much. I just want to say that.
Yeah.
Music. Drake, our Road Dogg, Pushback album. 2 more weeks, I think.
I hate that. Like, I don't know. Like, I hate when they're like, it's not perfect. He said like, I could either cancel the tour now, finish it, or finish the tour and make it the best album ever.
I always get surprised that it's like the album's not finished yet. Like whenever that happens, I'm like, wait, the album is not like packaged ready to go 3 months ago?
I don't believe it.
Like you're just packing it up right now?
Yeah, I don't believe it. I believe if it's like Kanye and that's it.
Uh-huh.
Anyone else, like I think like Drake's
then what is he doing? Like money? Like there's some like I
think there's a money thing that's
that makes sense.
Because it's even saying that's like I could cancel the tour now and release it or finish it. Like who's gonna say cancel it? Then it puts us as the bad guy. You know?
I don't want to be a bad guy.
Exactly. So then we say, okay, push it back. And now it's like our
Push it back.
Now it's our choice. And now it's like we're responsible for.
Oh damn! I got myself in a hole.
Yeah, not Drake. When really Drake just set this up for whatever
so
reason.
Smart.
Yeah, I like him. I like him. I love Drake. I would never.
This podcast almost ended.
House of Drake.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't like his tactics.
Okay. Is the album gonna be any good?
Did you listen to that single?
Not really.
It's all right. It's nothing to tell my mom about. Like, I wasn't telling her about Drake's single. Like
I remember the
usually
first time I told my mom about Drake.
What'd she say?
It was the last time I told my mom about Drake.
Hey. Oh.
Ivan. Lastly, I just want to say I've been watching a lot of soccer.
Okay.
My team, Chelsea, have been getting a lot of shit lately. Doesn't feel good.
Oh, poor baby.
Yeah.
Poor baby. Ooh.
Anything good to say about that? No, I don't have anything about that. Music, TV, video games, sports.
Reading more. I got a record player.
Oh,
Finally. I get the appeal at last. I get the appeal.
Oh.
Just like.
You're an audiophile now?
Yeah. I think it's just nice that I don't have to think about what music is like. It's already there. Clink. Starts playing. I'm listening to music.
Is it like a basic one like that?
Yeah, it's same company.
Okay.
It's like that. That's nice. What the heck?
Having fun?
Yeah.
Any takeaways? Music-wise?
It's nice. It's more like it's simple instead of. I think we just too many options made me not ever want to listen to music. But now I have like this set amount of records. I'm like, these are my choices, and then it's there, and I play it, and it's like background. If I want to like, oh, this I remember the song, crank it up, and it's, it's nice. It's a nice thing.
On that tip, I had like this big, not this. I want to say big. I had this feeling in me like the past couple of weeks of like how corny hip hop is to me now, and that's kind of like messed up for me to say because it was like I was all about hip hop forever. But now when I think about it, I'm like, oh man, this music is just like I feel like a dummy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've been played, but I just more so played myself. And it's just I think it's being older,
Right.
but also like hearing about like older rappers talk about like, oh, Diddy's gonna release an album soon. I'm like, why is Diddy still releasing an album? Like, isn't he a little bit too mature for that?
Going back to the well.
But saying that, me being Debbie Downer,
Cynic.
a cynic, because I'm a cynic. I'm a philosopher. I follow the cynical
Philosophy.
Say
Say your thing.
I lost it. Anyways, I listened to Graduation.
No, that's not Graduation.
Do you realize that you were a champion? There as
Harder, better, faster, stronger.
good morning. Okay, now we're on a roll. My takeaway, it's actually like listening to it, I'm like, there's nothing too revolutionary about this, but it's just like it feels
it's
good.
Art. Like it's made for like the art.
Yes. And it's just like, here's an album. Thank you. Here's your money. Like a worthy trade of your dollars.
Thank you, good sir.
Thank you for the bartering system. I will be on my way. I don't know. It's just like, I'm not saying it's.
I think just a lot of rappers aren't doing it for anything other than money.
Yes.
Which, I mean, you're making a living, but I saw like it was canceled, but I saw a news thing. What was it called? Love is Rage 3 is canceled and Eternal Will Take 2 is canceled or something like that. Like whatever Uzi.
Yes.
Like it was one of those albums, but like the fact that he's doing sequels, he was planning to do sequels. No, it was Love is Rage and then Slime It was a Young Thug Barter, like 23 or something.
No, that's that's Uzi's new mixtape. He's making like Barter 23.
Yeah, there's a post that said that was canceled. Oh, is that disappointing?
No. I'm just like,
okay.
Why even do it?
That like that type of art creation is like why we have Iron Man 75 and a half. Like I'm seeing less of a reason to have sequels ever. Like it has to be parts. Like Dune sequel makes sense because the story's not done. But if it's Dumb and Dumber 2, like it didn't need that sequel. Dumb and Dumber was already, that was it.
Right.
I don't know. That's just thoughts.
Yes. Ivan, that's it. That's it.
That's it?
That's it.
We've had it.
We've had it. For
Count
today. Ivan, any party words for the beautiful people?
No.
We'll be back next week with an Ivan picked movie.
How's Moving Castle, hopefully.
We'll see. Peace out.
Bye.